we have pictures of your board game shelves.
And based on those pictures, we will recommend you board games.
And trash on that shelf.
Maybe. Some of you sent in your board game shelves, your shelfies, and we're gonna look at them, react to them.
And then we're going to suggest a game based upon your shelf.
And then you rate your collection.
That's the trashing part.
Or maybe we will compliment, we don't know. So the first one comes from Saul Goodman himself. He says, as we are now renovating our flat, I don't have a shelfie, I have a stacky.
So a lot of family games. Which is cool, A lot of like mid-weight Euros as well. So what's the heaviest game here? Ark Nova.
Ark Nova.
Generally, mid-weight Euros is what I feel you love, Saul. And you hate shelves, Saul.
Welcome to the recommendation corner, Mr. Saul Goodman, where we're gonna recommend a game based on your shelfie. Because we really think you like pushing cubes and building engines, we're going with a Euro game. And this Euro game will be Echoes.
So in Echoes, all the players are building an ecosystem. But only one player will be the winner, whoever scores the most points. You draw a tile and then if you have a card with that same symbol, you can mark it, and when it's full, you can use that action. And when you run out of options to use it, you have to discard it, and other players will be able to buy those actions. This game encapsulates everything that is great about Euro games or resource management games. I think this one is shelf help needed.
It's just shelf needed.
My name is Vlad, or I'm from Israel. So there's a lot of boxes here, big ones on the top.
Some heavy stuff. Physically and mentally. Tons and tons of top 10 of your games here.
I think I found my soulmate.
Wow, amazing collection.
There's the second shelf, which is more two-player.
Yeah, two-player and light game.
Drop Altar.
That's the one we've been playing with my kids quite a bit in the evenings
Yeah.
now. Drop Altar is a silly dexterity game where you're dropping stuff. Yes, you got that right, you just have to drop stuff. You're opening a card, you have items in your hand, and you just have to drop the correct items with one hand. And the first one to do that scores a point.
Alright Vlad, you have Summoner Wars, one of our favorite two-player games. So here's a two-player game, competitive one that's really lovely, and we think there's a perfect spot on your shelf for this one as well.
In Ironwood there are two clans, the Woodwalkers and Ironclads, and they want to fight it out with each other. Woodwalkers want to go in, get their secret objective, and get out. They want the game to move really quickly because the Ironclads want to slow the game down, build huge armies, settle in, and then destroy Woodwalkers. All you do on your turn is play a card, then the opponent plays a card, then you place a card, till both players have played 3 cards, and then the round ends. And if you like games like Summoner Wars or other competitive 2-player games, you're gonna love this one. So the rating is shelf-respecting citizen?
I would vote for that.
It's a mix of shelfie and floory. Not all boxes have inside what is written on them. And he actually sent us another picture where he explains what is inside the boxes.
Thank you, because I was gonna say, oh, Settlers of Catan. Turns out it's also Netrunner.
What Reinijs really likes is campaign games.
No, Reinijs really likes playmats.
35 playmats. I bet he hasn't played Gloomhaven for a while, because imagine he wants to pull out the Gloomhaven box, he needs to go through all of this.
No, he can't get
Not
there.
gonna happen.
So you really like campaign games as well as cooperative games, so one game that we can recommend to you is ISS Vanguard.
ISS Vanguard is a massive space odyssey that has 2 parts. There's the ship management part. In this ship book, you can upgrade your ship, you can train your crew, you can aid your crew, and then there's the second part where you will go to a certain planet and explore them, usually by rolling a bunch of dice and seeing what happens. All of these cards discover, including events, global conditions, tons of content for you to play for years. I think Reinijs, you need some shelf
Help needed, definitely, yeah.
Me and my wife, Nariko, originally from Japan, are big fans of your channel and works.
Thank you.
Thank you, son.
Shelf-made legend immediately. Wow, he has both. We still don't have the other set for Star Wars card game.
First of all, 2-player games.
Yeah,
Cooperative games.
Quite a bit of a range, actually, from starting from simple card games to
Heavier
like
Euro games,
yeah,
like
heavier.
Arnak.
So quite nice range.
For you, Simon, we have a special treat based on that you have Feed the Kraken, you like social games. So what we're gonna recommend to you is actually Moonrakers.
Welcome to space. We have a special mission for you, but unfortunately you might not be able to do it alone. So in this game you will need to ask help from other players. You see, you have these missions and you want to fulfill them because they will give you prestige points. Hey, Simon, maybe you want to help me out here. I will do this mission. If you help me out do it, then I'll give you, let's say, 2 monies out of the rewards. And like this, you will try to negotiate all of these tasks. And usually when you're finally able to fulfill a mission on your own, then you will win the game. And if you like interaction, if you like to talking with people, then this is just perfect for you. This is not a huge collection, yet it covers the whole range. Anybody could go to this collection and find something to play here, so
Definitely.
It's a really well-balanced collection. Latest version, I think I need more shells. Yes, you do need more shells. We actually know that Gardner is really good at painting miniatures as well.
Yeah.
We have some proof. He likes big boxes.
And he cannot lie.
Kickstarters, big boxes, shiny boxes, miniatures.
We think you really should back Enormity, because this one is an epic story competitive game, and if you like Nemesis and the theme of aliens, this one is almost a must for you.
In this game, you're one of the silly people who go to a space mission thinking, there are no aliens, we're all alone on this spaceship. Well, think again, because these little creatures really want to ruin your day. And true to its name, it's pretty enormous. Move, shoot, roll bunch of dice. So if you want a real space thriller that's thematic, has voiceover, super big campaign, then look no further. This is the game for you. I'd say Citizen.
Citizen?
Oh yeah.
Just because he doesn't have all the games on his shelves, right? So he has Iridia, which is I'm super excited to play at some point, and I don't have it. And he just has it on the floor lying around. Come on.
Gabriella, here's my little collection. After Gardner's collection, this is definitely a little one.
Definitely, but very neat. Can you even touch things on that shelf?
No, I think this is just for the photo.
Yeah. And you read manga, which is very cool. Let's see, is there anything I've read?
You don't read books. Don't lie to
I
people.
read the ones with the pictures.
One thing we noticed immediately about you, Gabriella, is that you really like different kind of creatures. So what better game to recommend for you than Wondrous Creatures?
Welcome to an island where you can catch some mystical beasts, just like a real Pokemon master, in order to get points. These animals will also give you different kinds of superpowers that will come in handy in your quest of getting most points. So this game is not only a good pick for Gabriella because of the cute creatures, but also because it's a really cool engine builder. Which means that you will play cards and they will work together to give you more and more points and more powers, and it's just a really feel-good game. Shelf-respecting citizen?
Yeah, it's almost a legend, I'd say.
They would probably fit better put in vertically, but I'm afraid there could be a mess inside the boxes, so haven't tried it yet. First of all, a lot of localized games, but we recognize all of them. Big board games.
Big board, big board, big board, big board, very big board.
With big boards and Calico. Some smaller games like Micro, Macro,
Yeah.
or some cuter games.
Alright, Platonikov, you really like gamery games, but you don't have a lot of space. So one small one for you will be Scout. I think it perfectly fits in that one spot that you have still left in your board game shelf.
Welcome to Scout, where you will be scouting new recruits for the circus. And yes, this theme does not matter, because it's a simple gamery card game where you will have to get rid of all of your cards. And you can do that by playing either the same numbers or consecutive numbers. And don't worry, if you cannot do that, pick up a card from the middle of the table and then play cards. And that's kind of it. The round ends when somebody plays all of their cards and then you score points. It's a really lovely game. It's a high rated game, plus also you have space for it. We need some shelf help.
Definitely.
Need bigger shelves.
Need shelves.
I got into the board game hobby about 3 months ago and your channel helped me dive in. So if the shelf doesn't look good, you know we're solely responsible for it, right?
I understand. It's a lot of pressure.
Alright, here we go.
Okay. Horrified.
I can totally see our influence, yes.
Dark romantic. Catch sketch, let's go.
Really neatly packed. I think he's working with not a lot of space, but all of them feels like in the right spot.
A solo game in itself, just arranging.
Some
everything.
Tetris
Yeah,
going on there.
exactly.
Shawn, your recommendation comes from two things. You like two-player games, you already have Ironwood that we talked about, and you like hidden movement games. So here's one that you will definitely enjoy, Sniper Elite.
One side in the mission plays the sniper who needs to sneakily get in and do his mission. When he moves, he draws on this map. and the defenders never see movements unless they're super close to the places where he moves. And the defenders will need to try and find him, to have different powers, different ways to search for the sniper elite, for example, a doggy. And we saw in your shelf mine management, and this one is a bit simpler than that, easier to get to the table, but if you enjoy that one, definitely give this a try.
Definitely shelf respecting citizen. Yeah. I mean, Spire's End. Welcome to the moon.
I probably should do a cull, or I could just shove them on the top of the shelf next to the rest of that don't fit anywhere else.
Well, first thing I noticed, there are a lot of shelves. Like there's this small one, then there's the bigger one, right? And there's also a table with stuff on it. And models and riches waiting to be painted. A lot of different games. Starting from family games, ending with big and huge games, and everything
war
in
games?
between. War games, yeah.
First of all, is this the most board games we've had this video?
I think Cardiner has...
Cardiner has bigger boxes. All the top of the Cardiner's shelf is like 5 games.
When I see shelves as neat as those, I'm thinking, do those people actually play games, or they just like
for the looks?
It's just for the looks.
Nelly, your board game collection covers almost all the spectrum, and there's a lot of our favorite games of all time. So for you, I'm gonna recommend a game that I think will compete for a spot on my favorite board game lists of all time, and it's Elder Scrolls. Why this board game cover is in such a state? Well, you can become our supporter and gain access to our Discord server, where you can ask me just this question, as well as you can there send in your own shelfies, so next time we are rating your board game shelves. Welcome to Elder Scrolls, where you can customize your character to unrecognition. And then you can use the dice that you have earned during combat. These dice will let you attack and destroy enemies, teleport. This game is crazy good, and as I mentioned before, it is fighting for a spot on my best board games of all time list.
So how would you rank Nelly's shelf?
Legend.
She is pretty much a legend. So next one is Various. The main shelf has some of my favorite games, or the games that get the most played.
These are the games you get to play the most. Gandhi, Churchill, 1846.
It's his favorite, or the ones he plays the
indeed.
most. Terror Escape at the top, the huge house. It's a cool hidden movement game. The second game shelf has games that don't get played as much, but it's also my RPGs.
Oh yeah.
The side shelf has the mostly party games or filler games, but also High School, which is obviously the best game of all time.
Shelf made legend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No more questions.
The final shelf has games that I have either put for sale because they don't see play anymore or are still unplayed. I think except Unmatched, because he said he just doesn't have a space anywhere else, so he puts them in there.
Okay.
For you, Various, I'm gonna recommend something really outside of the box, because you like RPGs and dexterity games like High School. And this one is gonna be Dungeon Fighters, the role-playing game.
Unfortunately, all the good heroes are dead, so only ones that can now help us, silly little people like you and me. So in Dungeon Fighters, you go into dungeons and fight monsters. Monsters will have life points, and you attack them by throwing a die at the target and do damage. And this game takes that same concept and makes it a role-playing game. If your quest instructs you to do some trivia and answer some questions, you need to use your brain, aka your forehead. Yes! And all kinds of different skills that you will need to do in this game will depend on the dexterity roll. If you want to defend from bad things, you do this. Nothing in this game takes itself seriously, and that's why I think you will have a blast playing this role-playing game. One more quest.
Well, I cannot be objective here. 2 reasons. High School is indeed the best game in the world. And the second reason, it has a lot of GMT and historic games, so I cannot rate this. Well, if I would put it as a legend, but you're going to have to take this responsibility on yourself, and you can say that it's a legend, okay? Go ahead, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Shelf-made no?
Self-made legend, congratulations Warriors, and thank you people watching this video. If you want to see your shelfies there, be sure to support the channel and send us in the pictures.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. It was a pleasure seeing all those shelves and games. Be sure to support the channel using Patreon, and then you can also send in your board game shelves.
Yeah, and you might be on this show as well.